Good morning, everybody. Dana here. Wanted to spend a little bit of time chatting with you about some of the basic nutrition information that I want you guys to start paying attention to. And this video is going to be in shorter segments so that you can watch pieces and parts as you need them, and learn a little bit more about things that we can do to improve the nutritional quality of our dog food. My opinion at this time certainly is that home prepared foods that are balanced, raw diets especially that are balanced, are our best options. But I know many people can't move into that right away. They may have a lot of learning to build their own comfort level with making those transitions to raw diets. So I am just trying to share a bit more information. If you are a kibble feeder, one of the easiest things that you can do to improve the quality of your dog's nutritional value of what's in that bowl is to start adding some fresh vegetables, fresh leafy greens like kale and spinach, even collard greens would be appropriate, yellow squashes, seasonal vegetables, right? Double check your work and make sure nothing is on the list of non-approved items for our dogs, but all of the leafy greens and squashes and things of that nature are appropriate to start adding into your bowl. When we add in fresh leafy greens to our dog's bowl, we need to blanch them just a little bit, a light steam, couple of minutes, run it through the pureer so that our dogs are actually able to digest those foods. Kibble-fed dogs no longer make digestive enzymes that allow them to extract out all of the nutrient from real food, from people food, right? So we have long fed them on these kibble, high starch, highly processed diets. And so the systems of the body shut off the making of digestive enzymes that actually break down real food. So we have to add that back in. You have to do that if you're doing a home cooked prepared meal, whether that's, vegetables and meats, or you're doing an all meat and bone kind of diet for a true raw version. If you move to something like Bohart dog nutrition, digestive enzymes are there. However, if you have a senior dog or an unwell dog, you might need to boost the digestive enzymes with a bit more than what is the standard amount for the average healthy dog, right? So we've got to start paying attention to all of these things. Other things that you can add into the bowl that add nutrient might be an egg, right? When you do that, you want to add the whole egg. You can do it raw, and you want to put in the shell and all, because adding in the egg allows you to add in some protein. Adding in the shell allows you to add in some calcium, which keeps the calcium and phosphorus ratio in balance. When you start adding protein to the bowl, let's say you begin adding in some hamburger meat or some chicken or whatever protein that you're adding in, if you only add protein to the bowl, into a kibble bowl, you're over time will throw off the balance of calcium to phosphorus. It's balanced in the bag, right? It may be synthetic, but it's balanced in the bag. When you start beefing up on a regular basis with protein only, you're going to throw off the balance of nutrients that need to be there. So it's a calcium to phosphorus ratio. And so when you start adding fresh meats, fresh proteins, you've got to have a calcium source. If it includes the bone, and we can absolutely give our dogs bone, they're getting calcium in that format, right? If you are adding a bone, a meaty bone, make sure that it's not a cooked bone, and that we're doing things that are like short rib bones. You can do chicken bones. I prefer not to do chicken bones, but you can do that. But short rib bones, meaty cow bones, meaty pork bones, those are appropriate. Other things that you can look at adding in might be supplementation, right? Nutritional supplementation. When our kibble-fed dogs are eating kibble only, they are more often than not getting added in synthetic vitamins and minerals. Because what happens in the cooking process is that those vitamins and minerals are significantly reduced or damaged, and they're no longer nutrient rich in the kibble food when it's finished its process. So many manufacturers add back in synthetic vitamins and minerals. What does that mean? That means that it's better than having no vitamins and minerals, but that most of it's probably going out the back end of your animal without being absorbed into the body. So there are things that we can do with essential oils that help cleanse the body. There are dietary things that we can do to help cleanse the body and make it more ready to receive nutrients, right? But for most of our pets, we need to look at supplementation of some sort to really beef up the nutrient value of their food. We also need to make sure we're evaluating fats and omegas, right? So what happens a lot of times in most kibble is that they have cooked it so much that any fat that was in the original protein has been significantly diminished. Perhaps there's none left. We're also seeing more plant proteins starting to go into our dog food. Our animals need other animal fat. They need fat to live the evolutionary appropriate diets and the ways their body work. They need fats. What happens for most kibbles is at the end of the cooking process, fat is sprayed back on to the kibble, to the little chunks of kibble, even just to make it palatable for the dog to want to eat it, because there would be no flavor. There would be nothing in that little chunk of hardness that your dog, he's not going to find it appetizing. So they spray fat back on to add fat into the diet and to add flavor. Sometimes that fat is coming from other sources than animal fat. It could be leftover grease from restaurants. That's a fact, y'all. So there's not great opportunity, right? There's not greatness in most of our kibbles. There is certainly a range of quality, right? There's the really crappy stuff that you can find in some of the mega retailers. And then there's a bit more high end that you can find in some of these boutique type pet stores where they're feeding a more high end, where there are less sugars, there are better vitamins and minerals, there are no dyes in the food. Dyes are often found when you see color in a kibble. That color has been added in as a dye. It's for your eyes, not for the pet. The pet doesn't care. The pet just cares that it tastes good and it's going to give him nutrient. And when they are filled with dyes, that is not the case and is likely to be causing other health issues for our pets. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking to you in different videos about ways that you can do different types of food. But I wanted to get you started thinking on putting something fresh and real into the bowl, looking at better supplementation, which both Young Living and Volhard offer. And I can help you figure out what you may want to consider as additives for your dog's food. Even if they are on a home cooked or a raw fed, we'll talk about those as we go, but you may need to be adding in more than you think based on creating the balance and based on where your pet is in the life stages. So look forward to the next video.